Take these three vitamins every night before bed and watch your weak legs come back to life. You've been misled for years. If you're over 60 and your legs feel heavy, shaky, or like they just won't carry you the way they used to, you've probably been told the same tired line by everyone around you. It's just aging. Get used to it. But that is not the truth. Not even close. The real reason your legs are getting weaker isn't simply the number of candles on your birthday cake. It's a silent, hidden deficiency in three specific vitamins that your body desperately needs, especially in the hours right before you fall asleep, to rebuild and restore the strength in your legs. And here's the part that almost no one wants to say out loud. These three vitamins are cheap, they are natural, and most importantly, they are not profitable. There's no fortune to be made selling you something your body can fix on its own. That's exactly why you won't see them advertised on television, and why so few people ever connect the dots between these nutrients and the strength in their legs. But the science is clear, and the numbers are honestly a little frightening. When even one of these vitamins runs low, your risk of painful leg cramps jumps by over 40%. Your muscle repair slows down by nearly a third, and your risk of a dangerous fall after the age of 60 can triple. The number one vitamin I'm going to reveal to you near the end of this video has been shown in studies to boost leg strength by more than 30%, and yet almost no senior is taking it correctly. Why? Because when these nutrients go missing, your muscles can't recover overnight, your nerves can't send the right signals to your legs, and your legs, the very foundation that has carried you through your entire life, slowly begin to give out from underneath you. But here's the encouraging part. Recent research shows that seniors who take these three specific vitamins at night, right before bed, experience noticeably faster muscle repair, less leg pain, and improved balance in a matter of days, not months. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the three most important vitamins that every man and woman over 60 should be taking before bed to rebuild leg strength. And I'll rank them from least powerful to most powerful, based on what the latest science is actually showing us. My name is Dr. Marcus Wells, and everything I'm sharing with you today comes from real, research-backed evidence. I've spent years watching seniors struggle with weakness in their legs that could have been prevented or even reversed, and I'm tired of the silence around it. So before we dive in, I'd love for you to do something for me. Down in the comments below, let me know where you're watching from, how old you are, and which vitamins, if any, you're currently taking each day. I read these comments personally, and I do my best to reply with suggestions based on your age and your situation. So please, don't hold back. This is your chance to get real answers tailored to you, your routine, and what your legs actually need right now. Alright, let's begin with the very first vitamin on our list, and I promise you, most seniors are barely getting any of it. Number 3. Vitamin B12. Now, most of you have probably heard of B12 before. It gets mentioned here and there, but almost no one realizes just how critical this single vitamin is for keeping your legs strong, your movement steady, and your muscles repairing properly while you sleep. Let me put it to you simply. Vitamin B12 is like the power line that keeps your muscles and your nerves connected to one another. And the moment that power line starts running low, your legs begin to fail. Not always because the muscle itself has wasted away, but because the communication between your brain and your legs starts breaking down. Over time, this turns into weakness. Then it turns into imbalance. And eventually, it turns into dangerous, life-changing falls. Here's the real problem, and I want you to listen closely because this is something most people never get told. After the age of 60, your body becomes terrible at absorbing B12 from the food you eat. And I want to be clear with you, this is not your fault. As you get older, your stomach naturally produces less of the acid that's needed to pull B12 out of the protein in your food. So even if you're eating plenty of eggs, fish, and meat, sitting down to good, hearty meals, your gut simply may not be extracting the B12 that your muscles and nerves are crying out for. In fact, the National Institutes of Health has reported that up to 43% of people over the age of 60 have low or borderline B12 levels, and the vast majority of them have absolutely no idea. And the way the symptoms creep in is so quiet that most people miss it entirely. First, it's a little numbness in your feet, then a tingling sensation, then a stiffness settling into your calves. And then one day, you go to stand up out of your chair, and your knees buckle underneath you. Why does this happen? Because B12 is absolutely essential for building and maintaining something called the myelin sheath. Think of it as the protective coating wrapped around your nerves, almost like the insulation around an electrical wire. When you don't have enough B12, that coating begins to fray and break down. And once the nerves that control your legs become damaged, the signals from your brain simply can't get through anymore. This is exactly why so many seniors with a B12 deficiency end up showing symptoms that look almost identical to early Parkinson's disease or diabetic nerve damage. The slowness, the unsteady walk, the dragging foot, the leg cramps that always seem to get worse at night when you're trying to rest. A major study published in the journal Neurology followed 2,500 seniors over time and found that those with low B12 levels were nearly 3 times more likely to develop trouble walking and had a 60% higher risk of suffering a fall. But here is the single most important part of all of this, and it's the reason I want you taking this at night. Timing. Your nervous system does the bulk of its healing while you sleep. This is when your body replaces damaged nerve tissue, resets the signaling between your brain and your muscles, and runs its nightly repair cycles all the way down through your legs. If B12 isn't present in your bloodstream during that window, your nerves simply don't get what they need to recover. That's why taking B12 right before bed makes such an enormous difference. You're delivering the exact nutrient your body needs at the precise moment it's most ready to rebuild itself. And don't worry, unlike caffeine or other stimulants, B12 supports calm, steady brain function. It will not keep you awake. In fact, a lot of my patients tell me they actually sleep deeper and more soundly once they start taking it at night. Now let's talk about the form, because this part matters a great deal. Not all B12 is the same. The most effective form for seniors is something called methylcobalamin. This is a form your body can use immediately, which is especially important if you have any kind of digestive trouble. And here's a little trick. The sublingual tablets, the small ones that dissolve right under your tongue, tend to work best for older adults. They bypass your stomach completely and go straight into your bloodstream. So if you've just been relying on regular swallowed pills or a standard multivitamin, there's a real chance you're still deficient without knowing it. So how fast does it actually work? The clinical data shows that seniors who restore their B12 levels often experience better muscle control, faster nerve response, and stronger leg contractions in just 10 to 14 days. I've personally seen cases where a senior who couldn't walk on their own for more than 10 minutes regained meaningful mobility after about 6 weeks of consistent daily B12. These aren't miracles. This is simply basic nutritional science being applied at the right time in the right way. So if your legs feel slow, numb, or stiff, if you've noticed twitching at night, or that off-balance feeling when you walk across a room, start by fixing your B12. It's not just a supplement, it's a signal from your body, and the longer your nerves go without it, the harder it becomes to bring that strength all the way back. Now let's move on to vitamin number 2, a nighttime nutrient that fuels actual muscle growth, and that's been shown to begin reversing leg weakness in as little as 2 weeks of bedtime use. Number 2, vitamin D3. This one might genuinely surprise you. Vitamin D3 is famous as the sunshine vitamin, and almost everyone assumes it's only good for your bones. But after the age of 60, D3 becomes one of the single most powerful tools your body has to build and protect muscle, especially the muscle in your legs. And if you're not taking it before bed, you are letting one of your best recovery windows go completely to waste. Here's why this matters more right now than ever before. Over 70% of seniors are deficient in vitamin D3, and most of them have no clue. But the science doesn't leave room for argument. Low D3 directly leads to weaker legs, slower muscle recovery, and far more frequent falls. Let me break down exactly why. Vitamin D3 isn't just about calcium and sunlight. It plays a direct, hands-on role in muscle protein synthesis. That's the process your body uses to actually build and repair the muscle fibers in your legs. And after 60, your ability to rebuild that muscle after a normal day of activity declines rapidly. That's the reason you can just walk around the house, do a few chores, and still wake up sore the next morning. When your D3 levels are low, that rebuilding process slows down even more dramatically. That's when something called sarcopenia begins to set in. It's the age-related loss of muscle mass, and it tends to hit the legs first. Your thighs, your calves, the muscles in your backside start thinning out. You may not be able to see it in the mirror right away, but believe me, you will feel it. Getting up out of a chair feels harder. Climbing the stairs takes longer. You start avoiding standing for too long at a time. And little by little, your world begins to shrink down around you. In a study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, researchers tracked seniors with low D3 levels and found that those who supplemented with D3 at night gained 19% more leg strength and had 34% fewer falls over a 3-month period. That is a massive difference. And why does taking it at night matter so much? Because D3 doesn't just support your bones, it activates the muscle receptors that trigger strength and stability throughout your legs. And those receptors are most active during your deepest stages of sleep, which is exactly when your body releases its natural growth hormone. That's precisely why bedtime is the optimal time to take it. But there's even more to the story. D3 also calms the inflammation hiding inside your muscle tissue. You know that deep, nagging ache in your thighs? Or that burning sensation in your calves that flares up at night? That could very well be chronic, low-level inflammation, and D3 helps your body regulate it. A study out of the journal Frontiers in Aging found that D3 deficient seniors had twice the rate of nighttime leg pain, along with significantly reduced muscle repair. The participants who took D3 right before sleep not only reduced their pain, but actually saw measurable improvements in their walking speed and their balance over 6 weeks. Now, here's where I see most seniors going wrong. They either take their D3 in the morning out of habit, or they skip it altogether. But when you take it at night, it syncs up perfectly with your body's natural repair cycle. And that's when the real benefits start showing up. I always remind people that muscles are not built at the gym or during your daily chores. They are built while you sleep. And they simply cannot rebuild themselves properly without enough D3 on board. And please, don't think you can just rely on sunlight for this. After the age of 60, your skin produces around 75% less D3 from the exact same amount of sun exposure compared to when you were younger. That means even if you take a walk outdoors every single day, your body still might not be making nearly enough. At this stage of life, supplements aren't really optional anymore. To actually see results, most seniors do well with somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 international units of D3 per night, though the precise amount really should be based on your own blood levels. Always reach for D3, not D2. And try pairing it with a small amount of healthy fat, like a splash of almond milk or a little piece of avocado, to help your body absorb it. And no, D3 will not disrupt your sleep. If anything, some research suggests it may actually improve your sleep quality by calming your nervous system and easing those nighttime leg cramps. So if your legs feel tight, if you struggle to build strength back even when you're exercising, or if you've simply noticed your walk getting slower over the past year, it could very well be a D3 deficiency quietly dragging your recovery down night after night. Fix this one habit, and your muscles might finally have the fuel they've been waiting for to repair themselves. But that brings us to the most powerful vitamin of all, the one that almost no senior has ever even seriously considered. This one doesn't just support your strength, it helps reverse years of muscle loss, supports collagen repair, and can reactivate your body's muscle memory even well after the age of 70. Number 1. Vitamin K2. This is the vitamin that almost no senior is talking about, and yet it just might be the single most powerful nutrient for rebuilding leg strength quickly. And I want to be crystal clear here. I'm not talking about K1, the vitamin found in leafy greens that helps your blood clot. I'm talking about K2, which is something entirely different. K2 works deep inside your bones and your muscles to restore exactly what aging has been quietly stealing from you. If you're over 60 and your legs feel weak, achy, or unstable, if your knees crack and pop when you stand up, or if your calves feel like loose rubber bands by the time noon rolls around, there's a very good chance your body is starving for K2. So what does K2 actually do? In the simplest terms I can give you, it's the traffic director for calcium in your body. Its job is to tell calcium exactly where it belongs, which is inside your bones, and to keep it away from where it doesn't belong, like your arteries, your joints, and your soft tissues. Without enough K2, that calcium gets badly misdirected. It stiffens up your blood vessels, builds up painfully in your joints, and hardens your soft tissue. That's why seniors with low K2 so often deal with weak bones and tight, aching legs at the very same time. Their calcium is simply going to all the wrong places. But here's what most people have absolutely no idea about. K2 is also critical for switching on your muscle repair genes. In a study published in the journal Nutrients, researchers gave older adults a daily dose of K2 and tracked the changes in their strength and function over time. Within just 8 weeks, the participants showed a 21% increase in the strength of their thigh muscles and a 31% improvement in their standing balance. That is not just some minor supplement boost. That is real, genuine muscle activation. And the results were strongest in the group that took it before bed, when their bones and muscles were rebuilding the fastest. Here's something else that makes K2 so special. It works hand in hand with the vitamin D3 we just talked about. Think of the two of them like a team that has to work together. D3 brings the calcium into your bloodstream, and then K2 makes absolutely sure that calcium ends up in your bones where it belongs, and not in your joints or your arteries. This is so important that without enough K2, taking D3 all by itself can actually cause problems, because you're moving calcium around your body with no one there to guide it. That's the exact reason why some seniors who supplement with D3 on its own still end up suffering from stiffness or even worsening joint pain. The missing link, almost every single time, is K2. And there's still more to it. K2 activates a special protein called osteocalcin, which stimulates the formation of new bone while also improving how your muscles handle and metabolize glucose. That is incredibly important, especially for seniors who are dealing with things like pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, or poor circulation in their legs. In a clinical trial published in the journal Aging and Disease, seniors who took K2 showed noticeably better blood sugar control and stronger leg endurance during daily walking tests. And when they took it before bed, it helped support the overnight replenishment of muscle glycogen, which simply means stronger legs the very next day, without all the soreness and fatigue. But here's the problem we run into. K2 just isn't very common in the modern diet anymore. It's found mostly in fermented foods like natto, which is a fermented soybean dish, along with aged cheeses and certain meats. And unless you're eating those kinds of foods on a regular basis, the odds are very high that you're not getting nearly enough. Supplementing with the MK7 form, which is the most absorbable form of K2, is your best option, and especially so at night. MK7 stays active in your body for far longer, which means more consistent calcium regulation and better support for your muscles all the way through the night. Taking K2 right before bed gives your bones and your muscles the precise signal they need to rebuild themselves while you sleep. It's almost like flipping a switch on your body's natural repair process. And if you're already taking D3, then K2 is truly the key that unlocks its full benefit. So if your legs feel weak, if climbing the stairs feels harder than it ever used to, or if you're noticing pain in your knees or your calves that simply wasn't there a year ago, then it is absolutely time to add K2. This one vitamin could very well be the reason your muscles haven't bounced back, your strength hasn't returned, and your legs still feel like they're slowly losing the battle against time. Now, let me walk you through exactly how you can start putting all three of these vitamins into your nightly routine, step by step, without any stress or confusion. Because the timing, the form, and the consistency all matter a great deal. And when you do this correctly, you can begin supporting stronger legs starting as soon as tonight. Start with your vitamin B12. Because your digestion naturally weakens with age, the best form for you is sublingual methylcobalamin. That just means a small tablet that you place under your tongue and let dissolve completely. No swallowing required. Take this about 30 minutes before you head to bed, ideally on an empty stomach, or at the very least 2 hours after your dinner. That gives your body the time it needs to absorb it directly into your bloodstream without food getting in the way. I always suggest setting a reminder on your phone, or simply leaving the bottle right next to your toothbrush so it becomes a natural part of your nighttime habit. If you're brand new to B12, start with around 1,000 micrograms daily and just pay attention to your energy, your balance, and your sleep quality over the next few weeks. Next comes your vitamin D3. You'll want to choose a soft gel or a capsule that contains at least 2,000 international units of cholecalciferol, which is the natural form your body would normally produce from sunlight. Because D3 is fat-soluble, you should take it with a small source of healthy fat in the evening. That could be a spoonful of almond butter, a small handful of nuts, or a little piece of cheese. Try to avoid taking it with a big, heavy meal, because heavy digestion right before bed can interfere with your sleep and actually slow down absorption. Ideally, take your D3 about 20 to 30 minutes before sleep, and you can absolutely take it at the same time as your B12. Keep it simple. Leave the bottle by your bedside or right next to your evening cup of tea so it feels effortless. Finally, you'll add your vitamin K2. Look specifically for the MK7 form, ideally at a dose somewhere between 100 and 200 micrograms. This version stays active in your body the longest and works hand in hand with your D3. Take it at the very same time as your D3 dose, because they genuinely work better together, especially overnight when your bones and muscles are deep in repair mode. You don't necessarily need a meal with it, but again, that small fat-based snack can help enhance the absorption. And if you're already taking a calcium supplement or eating plenty of calcium-rich foods during the day, your K2 is what makes absolutely sure that calcium ends up going to the right place at night. Now, one important note. If you're managing any other medications, always try to space these vitamins at least 1 hour apart from your prescription drugs, unless your own doctor has told you otherwise. Most of my patients find it easiest to set up a little bedtime tray, a glass of water, your 3 supplements lined up, and maybe a journal or a warm cup of herbal tea. The real secret here is consistency. These nutrients don't work overnight in a single dose, but over the coming days and weeks, they help reset your entire recovery system and restore your legs' natural strength from the inside out. So starting tonight, just follow this simple order. B12 under the tongue, then D3 and K2 together with a tiny snack. All of it taken about 30 minutes before bed. Keep it quiet, keep it easy, and let your body do exactly what it has been waiting all this time to do. Heal, repair, and rebuild your legs while you sleep. Now, once you've got that nightly routine locked in, your B12 under the tongue, your D3 and K2 together with a small snack, I want to take you one step further. Because even though these 3 vitamins are powerful on their own, there are a few simple changes to your daily rhythm that can help your body absorb them better, rebuild faster, and wake you up with stronger legs in even less time. Let me walk you through 3 extra habits that quietly speed up everything you're already trying to accomplish, without adding a single extra pill or any complicated routine. First, hydrate with intention, not just when you happen to feel thirsty. Most seniors badly underestimate just how much dehydration weakens the legs. When your body is running low on fluid, your blood actually thickens, your circulation slows down, and your muscle cells genuinely struggle to absorb the nutrients you're giving them. So even if you're taking the exact right vitamins, without enough water, your B12 can't reach your nerves properly, your D3 won't distribute the way it should, and your K2 can't move that calcium where it needs to go. That dull, achy feeling in your legs at night? It might not be aging at all. It could simply be poor hydration. A study published in the Journal of Aging Research found that even mild dehydration caused a 14% drop in leg endurance and delayed nighttime muscle recovery by several hours. But the fix isn't to suddenly guzzle down a huge amount of water all at once. It's to sip steadily throughout the day. Try to aim for a glass roughly every 90 minutes while you're awake. You can even add a slice of lemon or cucumber to it if plain water feels like a chore. And make sure to stop drinking about an hour before bed so you're not waking up through the night. Hydration sounds almost too basic to matter, but when you pair it with your nighttime vitamins, it becomes a real secret weapon for stronger, more flexible legs. Second, let's talk about what you eat, and just as importantly, when you eat it. If your last meal of the day is heavy, packed with starch, or loaded with sugar, your body is going to spend most of the night working hard just to digest it, instead of repairing your muscles. And that's a huge missed opportunity, especially after the age of 60. Your digestion naturally slows down in the evening, and that late-night plate of rice, bread, or dessert can quietly increase the inflammation in your legs and block the very benefits of the D3 and K2 you just took. One study published in the journal Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors who ate a high-sugar dinner after 7 p.m. had twice the rate of nighttime muscle stiffness and 38% less efficient nutrient absorption during sleep. So here's the takeaway. Keep your last meal of the day light. A palm-sized serving of protein, like a piece of grilled chicken or a boiled egg, plus a handful of leafy greens or some steamed vegetables, is really all you need. Then give your body at least 2 hours to process that food before you take your supplements. That quiet stretch lets the vitamins do their work while you rest. And you won't just wake up with less pain in your legs. Your digestion and your sleep quality will very likely improve right along with it. Third, and honestly, this one might be the most underrated of them all. Move your legs before bed, gently and consistently. Now, I want to be clear, this is not a workout. This is simply circulation support. When you engage your leg muscles with just a few minutes of light movement, you activate the blood flow that helps deliver your B12, your D3, and your K2 to your muscle tissue far more efficiently. And that means less soreness in the morning and more visible strength gains over time. Try this right before you climb into bed. Do about 10 seated leg extensions, then a few slow ankle circles. Or simply stand up and slowly raise your heels off the floor about 10 times. These tiny micro movements send a message to your nervous system that your legs are active, alive, and ready to heal. A study published in the field of geriatric rehabilitation found that seniors who did just 5 minutes of light leg movement before sleep saw a 22% increase in nighttime blood flow to their lower legs and reported less cramping, less stiffness, and noticeably better balance within just 10 days. And you don't need any special equipment for this, just a chair, a wall, or the edge of your bed. These three simple steps, steady hydration, a lighter dinner, and 5 minutes of gentle leg movement, aren't magic. But when you stack them on top of your nightly dose of B12, D3, and K2, they create the perfect conditions for real recovery. Not temporary relief that fades by morning, but real, measurable change. That, my friend, is how you take back control of your legs, your strength, and your mobility, one single night at a time. So there you have it, 3 vitamins, 3 silent deficiencies, and 3 powerful ways to rebuild the strength in your legs fast, without painkillers, without extreme exercise, and without risky medications. Vitamin B12 to repair your nerves and restore that vital connection between your brain and your legs. Vitamin D3 to fuel your muscle growth and calm the inflammation. And vitamin K2 to redirect your calcium, switch on your muscle repair genes, and reverse years of silent muscle breakdown. You don't need more noise, you don't need more guesswork, and you certainly don't need more pills that do absolutely nothing for you. What you need is simple, science-backed action, and it all starts tonight before bed, because that is the exact moment your body is most ready to rebuild itself. But it simply cannot do it without the right tools in hand. Now, I really want to hear from you. Do you already take any of these 3 vitamins before bed? Or are you going to start tonight? Drop your answer down in the comments below, because I read and reply to as many of them as I possibly can. And if this video helped you today, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Share it with someone you love and care about, and subscribe for more real health solutions designed specifically for seniors. Your legs have carried you through your entire life. Let's make sure together that they stay strong for all the years still ahead of you. This is Dr. Marcus Wells, and if you have any questions or you'd like to share your own experience, I'd love for you to leave a comment below. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.